on, you fucking idiot. What the fuck? Track. Concise dictionary. Any philosophy rhymes. Like, what's good? This one right here. Supposed to work. Come on, I got V, A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, maybe? Right? And X, Y, and Z. I got it on my phone if we gotta do it that way. Okay? So I'll just fucking let it work, let it go on. Okay? Fucking asshole. They like to fucking fuck with shit. We already did the whole thing, kiddo. Okay, that information's free for the world. Period. Real information, okay, is free for the world, for the spirituality, humanity. Sankhya. Come on, I got a few more letters to do, you fucking dicks. Okay, I already got the whole thing. I got the whole fucking thing. Okay? I got the whole fucking thing. Fucking dicks. It's going. It's going, you fucking dicks. Come on. You can do it. Come on. Yeah? Yeah, yeah? This is the other one. Okay, man. Okay. There was another one that I had that they took off. Because, you know, something about that free flowing of knowledge and information and forms of communication some people just don't like. They like to hoard that gnosis, right? But it's true, some people should know certain forms of communication. But big Sanskrit Hinduism was meant for all of humanity. Okay, Sikhism, okay, they can be a little bit more, you know, what do you call that? You know, private, right? All they want, right? How long is that? Wow. Okay. Vaikunta. Vach, word, divine word, logos, speech, goddess, karmendriya, vachana, pithy, epigrams, composed by Veera-Saivite mystics, which expound Veera-Saivism in a popular and understandable manner. Vachana, vach, vada, debate, argument, theory, one of the 16 categories of the Nyaya school, see Padartha in chart number 6. Vadakalai, vadakalai, so that's a vadakal, and then that's AI, i.e. Vadakalai, the northern sect of Visistadvaita Vedanta, the followers of Vedanta Desika. They accept both the Tamil Prabandham and the Sanskrit tradition as equally authoritative. See Tankalai. Vadakalai, see, because this Visistadvaita Vedanta is a more southern Tamil sect, right? So the Vadakalai is the northern sect of Visistadvaita Vedanta. The followers of Vedanta Desika, they accept both the Tamil Prabandham and the Sanskrit tradition. So you got the Tamil Dravidians, and then you got the Aryan Sanskrit Vedic peoples, right? And those are kind of differing in a way, right? You got Aryans and you got Dravidians, and you got mixes of the two, right? The whole argument is a lot of these Aryans are moving into India from the west, right? And then you have the native indigenous Indian Dravidians, and there's a whole different story, you know. And these Sanskrit peoples may be from Syria, you know. Who knows? Okay. Vag yoga, sensation of karma particles through speech. According to Jainism, it is a type of astrava, vahana, conveyance vehicle from the root va, to carry. For example, Nandi the bull is Siva's vehicle, Garuda the eagle is Vishnu's vehicle, Ganesha rides on a mouse, Sarasvati rides on a swan, and Durga rides on a lion or tiger. Vahana, a conveyance, a vehicle. Vahana. Vani, fire. Vaibhasika, early school of Buddhism belonging to the Hinayana tradition. Vaibhasika, early school of Buddhism. Got that right there. Vaibhasika, early school of Buddhism belonging to the Hinayana tradition. Their authority is the Abhidhamma text, and especially the commentaries written thereon, the Vasas. They are of a realistic school which holds that both things and ideas are real, and that the mind can directly know objects in perception. However, things and ideas are not real, as this term is commonly understood for what are real are dharmas, the ultimate particulars which are neither substances nor attributes. These ultimate elements of existence are real, yet momentary. They are the simplest entities and give rise to all else by combining into aggregates. Vaichitriya, manifoldness, distraction, Vaichitriya, Vaichitra, Vaichitriya, Vaichitriya, the notion I am the doer, Vaidika, Vedic, Vaidika, Vaikarika, the pure sattva aspect of the ego, ahankara. It is the first development of the intellect, buddhi. According to the evolutionary schema of Sankhya, generally 4 stages of sound are distinguished: supreme sound, para, visible sound, which can be heard as om, pasyanti; middle sound, that refers to a variety of basic sounds, matrika, which are very subtle, madhyama, and manifest sound by Vaikarta, which is the grossest level of sound and is what is heard in ordinary speech. See Sabda. Vaikhanasa, the agamas that originate from Lord Brahma, their valid source books according to Visistadvaita and Dvaita Vedanta. See Agama, Vaikunta. Vishnu is heaven, the celestial abode of Vishnu. Vaikarti, speech, articulated speech, repetition of God's name aloud. Power Sakti is gross speech or word. Writers, authors, authorities, right? Vaikarti, Vairagya, dispassion, detachment, renunciation, non-attachment. Renunciation is giving up all the pleasures of the eyes, ears, and the other senses, giving up all objects of transitory enjoyment, giving up the desire for a physical body as well as for the highest kind of spirit body of a god. Vaishamya, partiality. Vaisesika, one of the 6 orthodox schools of Indian philosophy. It was founded by Kanada and is closely allied to Nyaya. The term vaisesika means excellence or distinction. The system is so called because, according to its followers, it excels other systems. The peculiar feature of the system is its doctrine of particularity. Vaisnava, relating to, devoted to, or consecrated to Vishnu, a devotee of Vishnu. Vaisya, business person, merchant, Siashrama. Vaisvanara, universal being, the self of the waking state. It is the self that leads all creatures in diverse ways to the enjoyment of different objects. The locus of meditation on Vaisvanara is the right eye, according to Dvaita Vedanta. It stands for the cosmic self in waking, while Visva stands for the waking individual self. Sipada, Vajra, thunderbolt, diamond, Vajrayana, the diamond vehicle, another name for the Tibetan Buddhism. Vajrayana, Vajrayana. Got that somewhere over here. Vajrayana right there. Vajrayana. Vajrayana, the term for Tibetan Buddhism. Vajrayana. Vak, Sivak, Vach, Vag, Devi, the goddess of speech, voice, word, primordial word, logos. She is the divine mother sound who became all the words. Vakovakya, science of logic. It is another name of the Nyaya school. That's good. That's good to know. Vakya. What is it? What do they say? Nyaya school right here. So we got the naiyayikas, then you got nyaya, vaisesika, nyaya, anviksiki, tarka. So it's also known as another name of the Nyaya school, vakovakya. Naya vakovakya. Vakovakya. So each and every single one of these, obviously, right? Carvaka, vaibhasika, sautrantika, yogacara, madhyamika. You got the mamsakas. You got the mahasamgikas. You got Theravadins. You got Hare Krishnas, right? You got all these guys. These are kind of few of these are some 6 sects. You have Vajrayana. I'll even add Theosophy. Okay, but that's a lot of Western in there. We're trying to focus on the East, but the Theosophists many times encompass a lot of Eastern gnosis in their writings, right? So each and every single one of these we're going to do individually, right? The summer is a good time to do Eastern gnosis, right? During the year we do a bunch of other different things, right? But summer is a pretty good time, and then every summer we're probably going to really expand upon all these different systems and what they are. You know, we'll do the East summer times, and then throughout the year we'll do all the other things. Vaikari, Vairagya, what's going on here? Where did we go? Vaisesika, we were at Vakovakya. Vakovakya, science of logic. Vakovakya, it is called the science of logic in the Chandogya Upanishad. Vakya, word, syntactical connection. Si Angatva Bodhaka Pramana Vakyayika Vakyata. Vakyayika Vakyata, syntactical unity of sentences. When sentences, see, because that's a T, right? That's a TH noise right there. Vakyayika, that looks like a TH. That should be a Y, like that. Vakyayika, Vakyata. Sometimes I see them messing things up. I I've seen fucking errors in these things. Vakyarta, vakyayika, vakyata. Syntactical unity of sentences when sentences which are complete in respect of their own meanings, again combined on the basis of their relationship, one being principal and the other is subordinate, they form a syntactic unity. See padaika, vakyata, and eka vakyata, vakyarta, vakyarta. Alright, see what I'm talking about? Vakyarta. See how that's a R and then that's a TH right there? Vakya, but they're saying that's a Aika. That goes right there, Aika. There's no th in Aika, right? So why is that the th there? So that should be a Y, okay? So then that's why, because this and that's a th, right? Vakyarta, right? Vakyathka? No, it's Vakyaika. Okay, that should be this right here. That's the Y. That's the th, okay? Vakyarta, verbal sense, primary meaning. It is of two kinds: beta samsarga, reality, relation of duality, and a beta samsarga, relation of non-duality. In the former, the meaning of a sentence may be conveyed through a relation obtaining among the words conveying difference. Bring the cow by means of a stick, all the words denote and connote different entities. In the latter, oneness is known or conveyed through the principle of grammatical coordination, samanadi karanya. Two words which connote different things denote the same object. Example given in Blue Lotus. Abheda samsarga is of two kinds according to Advaita Vedanta. Samsarga abheda, oneness with relation, which is at the relational level and is called oneness by courtesy only. The object may be one blue lotus but has two attributes, blueness and lotusness. Svarupa beta, non-relational proposition or an identity statement, is true oneness for the words employed both connote and denote the same entity. This is that devadatta or tatvam asi. The primary meaning is also referred to as vakyarta, mukyarta, and abhidayarta. Vakyarta bodha, verbal judgment, knowledge gained by sentence meaning. Vakyarta bodha. Bodha is like knowledge. Vakyarta, verbal sense, primary meaning. Two kinds. Relation, duality, relation, non-duality. Vakyarta bodha. Valmiki, Anthill, author of the Ramayana, considered the first poet of India. Vama, lovely, dear, pleasant, one of the five special names of Lord Shiva. Vamachara, left-handed way in Tantra. Vamana, dwarf, an incarnation of Vishnu. See Avatarda. Vamsa, lineage, genealogy, one of the five topics within which Pradhana should deal. See Pradhana. Vamsanu Charita. So, how do we read these Sanskrit terms, right? That's a V, that dot is a M. So Vam, in between all letters, a lot of times there's a A, right? A is important. In Sanskrit, the most terms in Sanskrit likely start with A, okay? A, and just about every term in Sanskrit ends in A as well. But you don't really see the A. It's silent. Vartika, Vartikakarda, Vasana, Vasikarda, everything ends in A. Vasista, right? So then A is really important. How do we read these Sanskrit terms? So that's a V and then an M on top of the V, right? B's and V's, like with Greeks, mixing them up, right? B looks like a B, but it's really a V, right? Vam. This is an S noise. It's almost like a sh, I think. That's a sh. Vam, shan, an, n, u. Vam, shanu. Vam, shanu. Char, e. That's a but then because this line there connected to it, if that line went out, so if that line's on this side of the letter, it's I. If the line's on this side of the letter, it's E. Okay? So Vam Shanu Chardi Ta ends in ta. Vam Shanu Charita. Vam Shanu Charita. The future continuous lineage, one of the five topics. with which a Purana should deal. See Purana, Vana, forest, grove, wood, thicket, Vana Prastha, Vana Prastha. So once again, how do we read these Sanskrit terms? Vana, P, and then that little dot, that little line sticking out signifies that there's a rah. Vana pra, Vana pra, sa. That's a S. It's kind of connected to that S, to TH though, right? This dot right here makes it a TH. If that dot, that big dot in the middle, right there on top of it, that would be a ya, right? But because that big black dot's there, that makes it a th. Vanaprasya, Vanaprastya, Vanaprastha, forest dweller. Wow, that's a good one. Vana equals wood, prastha go forth. Vanaprastha is a forest dweller. Vanaprastha. Vandana, offering gratitude for blessings received from God. See Bhakti. Varaha, born, incarnation of Vishnu. See Avatara. Varna, caste, alphabets, color, articulate syllables, letters. There are 4 castes of social classes which divide individuals in society according to one's natural aptitude, nature and aptitude. They are the Brahmana, who studies and teaches the Vedas, the Kshatriya, who protects others, the Vaisyas, who are traders and merchants, and the Sudras, who serve others. This division is based on the principle of social economy. Its base is functional. It refers to the social and institutional side of life and gives a horizontal view of society. Each class is relative, though unconditionally obligatory in the sphere in which it is respectively applicable. One specializes in religion, politics, economics, and labor according to one's station in life and individual aptitude. Regarding Varna as alphabetical letters, see Sabda. Varnaka, chapter. Vartamana, turning, unfolding, present tense, a type of action, karma. Vartika, verse, commentary. These are commentaries whose purpose is to inquire into what has been said, ukta, what has not been said, anukta, and what has not been said clearly, durukta. See Vartikakarta. Vartikakarta. Okay, so how do we read these Sanskrit terms? V, we skip all this BS and go to that R. Okay? Because that T is the next letter. But you read that R if it's on top of the T first. Vart, but then it's connected to this, which is a I. If that line was on the other side of the T, it'd be E, but it's a varte. That's a kara. Vartikakarta, commentator. Surdasvara is the commentator of the Advaita Vedanta school. He wrote the Brihadaranya Upanishad Bhashya Vartika and the Taittiriya Upanishad Bhashya Vartika. Kumarila Bhatta is the commentator of the Mimamsa school. You got the Mimamsa school over here somewhere. You got a few different types of Mimamsa. I got the Mahasamgikas, which may be related to Mimamsa. Just kind of sound alike, right? You have maybe related to you got Mimamsakas. Are the Mimamsakas related to Mahasamgikas? They kind of sound alike. Then you have Bhatta Mimamsa, Prakarta Mimamsa, you got Parva Mimamsa, you even have Mimamsa Vedanta. Mimamsa school, he wrote the Sloka Vartika, the Tantra Vartika, and the Tuptika, Vasana, latent tendency, impression, conditioning, self-limitation, predisposition, desires, a latent potency or residual impression which clings to the individual is also called samskara. Vasikara. Okay, so that's a sh. It's a sh, s. It's a s noise, but it might be s, it might be s or sh. But it's vasikara. So that's a v. Looks like a b, right? But we're Greek. So I studied Sanskrit. Okay. So we're confusing B's and V's all the time, all across the board. We do the languages from Greece to about South India, right? You have a lot of kinship with the dialects, etymologically speaking, semantically speaking. There's a lot of affinities, right? And a lot of these different dialects, about Greek to Hebrew to Farsi, right? And then all the ancient ones, obviously, Aramaic, Phoenician, right? all other ones, Avesta and Sanskrit, etc., etc., etc. And then obviously all northern India, right? We have a lot of affinities in the dialects all across the board, from about Mediterranean to India, to Indus Valley. Vartikakara, those are all Indo-Iranian, Indo-European, Indo-Aryan dialects. Okay, and there's so much evidence that a lot of these Aryans moved into the Indus Valley, what they called Aryavarta. Okay, that's why the guy that does the Sikh, the main one of the gurus of Sikhism, right? It's whiter than I am, right? So these are Aryans that moved into northern India, and they brought all these dialects and traditions. Then you have a lot of Dravidians hopping on the boat, kind of, right? And then you also have a lot of type of more Asians, and that's where you get the Buddhist influences, right? Those are more Asians, kind of, right? Vartikakara, but the whole Sanskrit language we believe came from the West, and we're going to do a lot more work on why that is. And you know, there's a lot of things that originally came from the West that we're not admitting. You know, there's a whole destruction of the history of the peoples and tribes from the West, first of all, right? How they're coming from pre-Diluvian timelines, right? Whole understanding of dialects and religions came from somewhere, right? Where did it come from? A lot of the spiritual societies didn't have dialects and religions, and they were very spiritually advanced, right? But that's a washer system. They came from the Middle East, certain deities, and it spread tentacles all across the planet, right? But there was ancient spiritual societies and pre-Diluvian timelines that didn't do the dialects and religions thing. They did the music and emotion thing and telepathy thing, you know, and nature thing. They did a lot of other symbolic forms of communication, right? There's so much other forms of communication. Like, you know how we have these natives in our schools and we're trying to teach them English and they start speaking stupid stuff. Yeah, well, they're connected to a whole other form of natural communication. Oh, they might not be able to pronounce English terms like the white people can so well, but they're connected to a whole other form of ancient communication that a lot of the people in the schools are like, oh, these kids are stupid, they can't even read and write. Yeah, but they may be connected to a whole other spiritual form of communication that's very natural, very intrinsic, very innate, very natural, right? See what I mean? So the whole dialects thing, we're going to go into the history of what certain deities started teaching humanity dialects and religions, and what was their purpose, what was their agendas, right? But don't get me wrong, don't get me wrong, you can articulate very high level divine gnosis into these dialects, sure, right? But it's a watcher system, right? And it came from about the Middle East, we'll say. Then it spread tentacles everywhere. So we believe, undoubtedly, the Sanskrit system came from the West, and then moved into Indus Valley. The peoples, the tribal peoples that developed that Vedic system in the Indus Valley came from Western climes, just like Iranians, for example, and Avestan-speaking ancient Iranians, old Persians. Same type of understanding of the Vedic Sanskrit peoples. And I would love to argue about it. I really would. Vasana, Vartikakara, where we have Vasita, Mimamsa school, Vasana, latent tendency, impression, conditioning, self-limitation, predisposition, desires, a latent potency or residual impression, which clings to the individual. It is also called samskara. Vasikara, control, state of detachment. Vasista, how they read these Sanskrit terms. So that one is a P with that line in the middle. It's another S noise. Vasis, but then this makes it a TH noise. Vasista, one of the most famous Vedic seers. He was a seer of many of the hymns of the seventh book of the Rig Veda. Vasita, power of subduing all to one's own will, vasitva, the power by which all living beings may be conquered. See Asta Aisvardya. Vastavi, real, vastu. Object, thing from the verb root vas, to live, dwell, remain, abide, vastu tantra, object dependent. Knowledge is said to be not of object, dependent upon it to advaita. Dependent according to advaita. See Purdusa Tantra. Vasudeva, universal God. One of the manifestations of God is Varda, the son of Vasudeva. The indweller from Vasu equals dweller, indwelling. Plus Deva, luminous. Deva is luminous, God, the Devas, the God who dwells within all. He is the highest self and possesses all the 6 attributes: knowledge, jnana, lordship, aisvarya, potency, sakti, strength, bala, virility, virdya, and splendor, tejas. He hypostatizes into Kesava, Narayana, and Madhava. A hypostasis is like a emanation, kind of, or an alternative manifestation, right? They also say Hekati is the hypostasis of Had, and Hadad is the hypostasis of Hekati, something like that. You have this term hypostasis in the theological world. Hypostatizes, alternative manifestation, I would translate it as alternative divine emanation or manifestation. Vasudeva, universal God, manifestations of God, Isvarda. Vasudeva, one of the manifestations of Isvarda, or the son of Vasudeva. Vata, air, wind, one of the 5 material elements in Ayurveda. It is one of the bodily humors, dhatu, and has the qualities of dryness, coldness, and mobility. Vatsalya, love as between parents and child. This is paternal love. Sibhakti, Vayu, air, life, breath. It is of 5 types: prana, apana, samana, vayana, and udana. It is one of the 5 elements. See Mahabhuta and prana. Veda, knowledge, wisdom, revealed scripture, the sacred scriptures, Shruti of the Hindu tradition. They are impersonal, aparusaya, and eternal, nitya. There are 4 Vedas as arranged by Vyasa, Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, and Atharva Veda. They are divided into mantra, brahmana, dharanyaka, and Upanishad sections. Strictly speaking, the Veda stands for the parts known as mantra and brahmana. The appendages to the brahmana are the dvaita, and the concluding portion of the dvaita are the Upanishads. There once existed 1131 recession sakas of the Vedic Samhitas. The Rig Veda and had 22. The Yajurveda had 101. The Samaveda had 1000, and the Atharva Veda had 9. The Rig Veda is the Veda of hymns of wisdom. The Samaveda is a liturgical collection of hymns, mostly taken from the Rig Veda, sung to certain melodies. The Yajurveda is the scripture of sacrificial rites. Atharva Veda is comprised of formulas intended mainly to counteract evil, disease, and other practical events. The Yajurveda is said to be of 2 recessions, the white Sukla and the black Krishna. The Rig Veda is for the priest whose function is to recite the hymns inviting the gods to the sacrificial altar. The Samaveda is for the Udgatar priest who sings the hymns. The Yajurveda is for the Vardu priest who performs the sacrifice according to the rules. The Atharva Veda is for the Brahmana priest who is the general supervisor of the sacrifice. The Rig Veda contains the Ataradaya Upanishad. The Samaveda contains the Chandogya Upanishad and the Kana Upanishad. The Yajurveda contains the Isa, the Tatiriya, and the Barhadaranyaka, and the Katha Upanishad. The Atharva Veda contains the Prasna, the Mundaka, and the Mandukya Upanishads. See chart number 1. Vedana, sense, experience, sensation, feeling. One of the 12 links in the causal chain of existence. See pratitya samupada, one of the five aggregates. See skanda, it is caused by sense contact and consists of pleasure, pain, and difference according to Buddhism. It's caused by sense contact and consists of pleasure, pain, and indifference according to Buddhism. Vedanga, limbs of the Vedas, Vedic sciences. The limbs of the Vedas are phonetics, siksa, prasaditi, chandas, grammar, vyakarana, etymology, nirukta, astronomy, jyotisha, and ceremonial kalpa. Kalpa is of two kinds: Strata Sutra, which relates to the Vedas, or Shruti, and Smarta Sutra, which is based on the Smrti. Vednaya, feeling producing karma. According to Jainism, they're one of the 8 main types of karmas. These are non-obscuring producing actions which generate feelings of pleasure and feelings of pain. Asad Vedya, see karma. Vedanta, end of the Vedas. Uttar Mimamsa, end of knowledge, wisdom. A name of the Upanishads, see Upanishad. A name of the different schools, philosophy founded on the teachings of the Upanishads. The major schools are Advaita, Visistadvaita, and Advaita Vedanta. The basic texts of Vedanta are the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, and the Brahma Sutra. See Prasthana Trayi. Other central questions considered in the Vedantic schools concerns nature of God or the absolute Brahman. Vedanta Sutra. Vedanta Sutra, another name of the Brahma Sutra. It is so called because it is the aphoristic text on Vedanta. Vega, motion, velocity, inertia. According to Vaisesika, it is of 3 types: Ubhaya, Kamaja, Anya, Tada, Kamaja, and Vibhagaja. See each list separately. It is the quality of a moving substance which is responsible for its continuing in the same direction. Vibhaga, disjunction, division, separation. According to Vaisesika, it is a type of quality, guna. It is that entity or quality by virtue of which the connection or contact of things is destroyed. Vibhagaja, motion caused by disjunction. Type of motion according to Nyaya Vaisesika. Vibhanga, a fallacious form of clairvoyance, one of the Abhidhamma texts. Siavadi, Abhidhamma Pitaka, Vibhava. The sense of Vishnu, incarnations, avatars, emanation. It is the Son of God, Isvara among humanity. It is of 10 main events: Advents, Matsya, Karma, Varaha, Narasimha, Vamana, Parasarama, Ramachandra, Balabhadra, Krishna, and Kalki. Some people substitute Buddha for Balabhadra. These incarnations originate from the Vyuha and the Ruda. The cause for the descent is the Savarda's will only, and is for the protection of the good and the destruction of the evils. See Vyuha. Vibhaha, an aspect, condition, state, manifestation of the 3 efficient causes of rasa, motion. From the verb root bu, to become, be, evil to depart. It is of 2 kinds: alamana, main excitant, and udipana, contributory excitant. See rasa. Vibrama, delusion. Vibrama, vibu, all pervasive. Vibu. According to Advaita Vedanta, nyaya, not nyaya. Advaita Vedanta and nyaya, the form of the individual soul, is all pervasive. Vibhu dravya, all pervasive substance. Vibhuti, sacred ash, bamsa, manifestations of divine power, might, prosperity, welfare, splendor, exalted rank, greatness, superhuman power resembling that of God. Isivarta. The verb root bu, to exist, the existent manifests, plus V equals apart. One of the eight aids according to Vira Saivism. It is the smearing of the sacred ash upon the body. See Asta Avarana. Incarnations such as spiritual teachers, etc., who aid humanity are called vibhutis. According to visistadvaita Vedanta, the manifestations of Vasudeva, example given Sankarsana, Pradyumna, and Anuruddha, miraculous powers are also called vibhutis. According to Visistadvaita Vedanta, the manifestation of Vasudeva, Sankarsana, Pradyumna, and Anuruddha, vibhuti, manifestations of divine power, vibhuti, manifestations of divine power, might, prosperity, welfare, splendor, exalted rank, readiness, superhuman power, resembling that of Isvarta. The verb bhu, the existent, manifest, plus v was a part, vibhuti, manifestations of Vasudeva, exalted rank, Isvarta, superhuman power, resembling the powers of Isvarta. Vibhuti, vicharda, reflection, inquiry, introspection, investigation. According to the yoga school, it is a state of samadhi. It is of two kinds: nirvicharda, when the mind concentrates and is one with the tanmatras without any notion of their qualities, and savicharda, when the mind concentrates on the tanmatras with the remembrance of their qualities. Vichina. So tra, right? And then you got na, right? So you see this connection here, you know what I'm saying? Vedanta Sutra. So when it's a smaller one, see how this letter right here looks just like that letter right there, right? So Vedanta Sutra, VEDANTASUTR, right? Tra. So when it's a smaller one, it's a tra. Vedanta Sutra, right? When it's a bigger one, right? They look the same. It's just that one's smaller and that one's bigger, right? Vichin, two N's, na. Vichina. So it's a n, double N, tra, ends in a. Vichina. So these are the two letters that we can relate. Tra, and this is a na. Vikitsa, vichikitsa. That's a good one. Vichikitsa. Vichikitsa. That right there is a T. Vichikitsa. Doubt, suspicion. Videha mukti. Liberation, right? Mukti, liberation. Videha mukti. Liberation attained at the time of leaving one's body. It's the idea of just don't reincarnate constantly, right? Or maybe he's talking about soul travel and you can travel back to your body, right? Videha mukti. Videya. Predicate obedient. Vidayatva. So that's a V connected to I, that's a D connected to E, that's a Y, that's a T and a V, ends in A. Vidayadva, the quality of being controlled, according to Visistadvaita Vedanta, all things are controlled by God, Isvarta. Vidi, injunction, positive command in the Vedas, according to Mimamsa, from Vida, to arrange, put in order. There are three types: Apartava Vidi, original injunction; Nyaya Vidi, restrictive injunction; Party Sankhya Vidi, exclusive injunction. There are five classes of injunctions: Karmot, Pativakya, which enjoins a certain act; Gunavakya, which enjoins certain necessary details connected with the prescribed act; Philovakya, which mentions the result following from the performance of a certain act; Phalaguna which lays down certain necessary details as conducive to a particular result; Saguna Karmotpati Vakya, which enjoins an action along with an accessory detail; Karma Mamsa, positive commands including obligatory duties; Nitya Karma, occasional rights; Naiyayikas Karma, and optional rights; Kamya Karma, they refer to supermundane affairs and are to be understood literally; Vidivakya, injunctive; Sentence according to Vimamsa, injunctive sentences contain essence and purport of the Veda. Example actions, see chart number 1. Vidvan, one who has learned the kavyas, the lexicon and grammar. Vidvat sannyasa, becoming a renunciant after knowing the truth. It is asceticism resorted by wise persons, jnanis. Jnanas, knowledge. Jnanis is wise persons, jnanis. Vidvat sannyasa, becoming renunciate after knowing the truth. It is the same asceticism resorted by wise jnanis and perfected ones, siddhas. Wise persons, jnanis, and perfected ones, siddhas. It is called renunciation by the wise, sannyasa, vidya, knowledge, meditation, wisdom, insight. There are 32 types or varieties of Brahma Vidya described in the Upanishads for securing liberation. These are various types of meditation. For instance, meditation on the pranava mantra Om. The chief branches of knowledge are 4 according to vaisesika, anviksiki. Anviksiki, logic and philosophy. Trayi, the Vedic religion. Varta, economic science as well. Daniti, the science of polity. Trayi, the Vedic religion. Anviksiki, Trayi, the Vedic religion. Trayi. Varta, Vidyapada, the part of the Agamas, which sets forth the philosophical doctrine, Agama, Vidyastana, the 14 sources of knowledge. There are the 4 Vedas, the 6 Vedangas, Pranana, Mimamsa, Nyaya, and Dharma Sastra. Vigana, obstacles on the spiritual path, including laziness, alasya, boastfulness, kadana, keeping a company of rogues, tirthankaras, gossiping, prakatanam, lack of application, anusandana, rahitya, inertia, laya, stupor, tamas, vigna is obstacle, vigna. Obstacles on the spiritual path include laziness, alasya, boastfulness, katana, keeping the company of rogues, tirthankaras, right, our affiliations, right, keeping the company of rogues. Who do we associate with, right? That's fun, right? Keeping the company of rogues, tirthankaras, gossiping, right? Prakatanam, gossiping, prakat. Then there's a prakatanam, lack of application, anusandana, rahitya, inertia, laya, stupor, tamas, vigna, dvamsa, so you see that D right there? So this, that G is connected to that N, right? But the G, the G, and the D is the same letter. It's just the D has an opening there, and the G is closed. Okay, Vigna Dvamsa, the Dvamsa, destruction of obstacles. Vigna Dvamsa, Viharta, vehicle. Vijatiya, one of the 3 types of difference that exists between things belonging to 2 different classes. For example, the difference between a tree and a stone. See Veda. Vijaya, victory, triumph. Vijnana, wisdom, cognition, intellect, consciousness, stream of consciousness, from the verb root jna, to know, and v, to be a part. Hence to discern, one of the 12 links in a causal chain of existence. See pratitya samutpada, one of the 5 aggregates. See skanda, the intellect is also called buddhi. Vijnana, also called buddhi, it's the intellect, the wisdom, the intellect, the consciousness, the cognition. Vijnana kala, time maybe, something about time. Vijnana kala, individual soul in which the bonds of karma mala and maya mala, karma, kind of ignorance, mala is bad, Sanskrit for bad, kleshas, right, maya, illusion, maya mala, have been removed and only anava mala remains, a type of unembodied being. This type of individual soul no longer has to return to empirical existence when it gives up its body, for it is fit for release. Sijiva Vijnana Kala. So remember we were talking about in the Chaldean system the whole process of ascension, okay, and ceasing endless reincarnation, right? Getting off that wheel of samsara, right? So that understanding that I was explaining in the Chaldean gnosis, that we're ascending and we're going to ascend as spiritual divinities out of the physical realms and cease endless reincarnation, right? That's a system that's mirrored in all these different systems. That's also a very important concept in the Sanskrit Vedic philosophy as well, okay? What we call ascension in the New Age schools, in the New Age movement, school of thought, right? Kind of New Age, we'll call it, right? Which there's not wrong with, you know, the on the surface New Age, yeah, but there's a lot of spiritual teachings and channeled intel that we can find on the internet, and we'll call that kind of like New Age knowledge. But no ideas new. That could be pre-Diluvian gnosis, so that just re-channeled and recruited us. You know what I mean? It's not exactly new, but we'll call it New Age knowledge for now. Get the term ascension, right? And it has all these different systems in the modern type of New Age consciousness in terms of that ascension, okay? So that's the whole idea. Leaving the physical body, and the soul is no longer bound to its physical body, and it's up fit for release, right? It can ascend, and it's not bound, as it can ascend as a spiritual divinity, and it's not bound to ceaseless physicalization, endless reincarnation, right? Being endlessly reincarnating, never mind dealing with archons, right? But that wheel of samsara is being co-opted by Gnostic archons, right? Which is another story. We're not just reincarnating. Our karmas, right? And then taught to stop reincarnating, right? I mean, never mind how that's being co-opted by what we call the overlords of karma, right? These archonic deities, right? The programmers of worlds, the manipulators of timelines, right? Vijnana Kala, Vijnana Kevalin. So fit for release, see jiva, right? Talking about the soul, right? Sanskrit for soul is jiva, an individual soul in which the bonds of karma, mala, and maya mala have been removed. Okay? So that's a Vijnana Kala. Kala is a term for, kind of relates to time, though. Right? Knowledge, time, looks like it just put together. Vijnana Kala, Kali Yuga Kala, right? Vijnana Kevalin, Vijnana Kevalin doesn't end in a like every other letter, every other term that we've seen that ends in a. La, na, ya, ra, sa, right? This doesn't end in a because they put that line right there. So that closes it off. Instead of Kevalin na, it's Kevalin. Kevalin. Okay? So that line right there closes the term off. So it doesn't end in a ah. Vijnana Kevalin, a liberated individual soul. According to Kashmir Saivism, it is a term for an individual who has become liberated. So this whole understanding of liberation might be mukti, moksha would be the word for that. Moksha, liberation. Literally just means ascending. The jiva is ascending, right? And it's not bound to endless reincarnation once again. So that's deep in Vedic Sanskrit philosophy, as it's also deep in New Age consciousness, and it's also deep in Gnosticism. We'll find correlations, and in that Chaldean theurgical system that we really like, we also find correlations in that as well, right? The Maya of the physical worlds, right? Never mind the human world. Never mind that. Right? That's a whole other system of Maya. Okay, what the Martin Heideggers would call mysteria, what the philosophers would call mysteria, right? That Maya, that illusion. Right? And we're spiritual beings. We're trying to perceive true reality, have clear darsana, clear perception of the real. Hold on.
Is Maddie down here?
No. So that's what they call it liberation, right? Release, liberation, right? I would call it ascension, or ceasing endless reincarnation, or becoming. There's another way we could put it: astral independence. Okay, astral independence, moksha, mukti, right? Yeah, liberation, sure. Release, fit for release. Ascension, astral independence, because so then when we die of old age or natural causes, we choose to reincarnate. Right? We're not under the whim of Gnostic archons that are preordaining our endless reincarnations and we can't stop fucking reincarnating, right? No, we have astral independence. We choose when we want to reincarnate. We choose the families we reincarnate. We choose the timelines we reincarnate into, right? So, or how about we stop? How about we choose to not reincarnate and we stay in those lokas. We stay in those etheric divine lokas with higher level angelic spiritual divinities that do not even concern themselves with physical worlds. Right? How about that? Vijnana Kevalin, Vijnana Maya Kosha, Vijnana Maya Kosha, the sheath of the intellect. It is located within the mental sheath, Mano Maya Kosha. These two, together with the Prana Maya Kosha, constitute the subtle body, Sikoshna. Vijnana Maya Kosha, the sheath of the intellect. It is located within the mental sheath. They're calling it sheath, but subtle body. Sushumna, right? The Sushumna. What do they call it? Hindi for subtle is suksham, related to the nadis as well. Susumna nadi, for example. Susumna, suksham, subtle body. What's that? That might be the astral body, the etheric body, the spiritual body, the Merkaba vehicle, right? The Merkaba Vahana, right? The Merkaba vehicle. The sheath of the intellect constitute the subtle body, right? So there's not just the physical body, there's that astral body. There's Nana Maya Kosha, Vijnana Maya Kosha, Vijnapti, that's a good term. That's one of that's a good term. It's Hindi Suksham, right? And then they always relate subtle to those nadis, those Sushumna nadis, for example. Kundalini energy, subtle, right? Vijnapti, perceptions. Perceptions, also known as darsana in Sanskrit, darsana. Vikalajnana, otherworldly knowledge, Vikalajnana. According to Jainism, it is divided into two, avadi and manahparyaya. Vikalpa, imagination, mental construct, abstraction, conceptualization, hallucination, distinction, experience from the verb root kalp, to correspond in accordance with suitable to plus v equals underworld way. Thought, oscillation of the mind. According to Sankhya, the mind chitta has 5 processes, among which are abstraction, construction, and different kinds of imagination. Vikarta, change of form, modification. Lewiness, manifestation from the root kar, to make, and v, apart. Vikasa, expansion. Vikarti, modification and work of action. Karma is fourfold. This is one of its 4 effects. Karma, viksepa, projection, false projection, distraction. It is the projecting power of ignorance, according to Dvaita Vedanta, see avidya, viksepa sakti, power of ignorance, maya, by which the manifold experiences are projected, power of dispersion. Viksipta, distracted, unsteady, dispersed, the state of the mind where it is unstable and shifts its attention from object to object. Vilaya, dissolution, vimala, purity, unblemished, without stain. From V equals without, mala equals stain, defect. One of the 10 stages of the bodhisattva, see bodhisattva. Vimala, purity, unblemished, without stain. From V, without, mala, stain, defect. Vimana, disrespect, honor. Vimarsa, consideration, examination, test, reasoning, discussion, knowledge, intelligence, reflection. Vimarsa, the self-knowledge or self-awareness of paramasiva, full of knowledge, nana, and action, kriya, which brings about the world, which one understands specific characteristics of that which is known. Vimocha, error, delusion, perversity. Vinasa, destruction, annihilation, from the root vinas, to perish, destroy. Vina, the Indian loot. Vinaya, discipline. That's another term for him. Vinaya, disciplines. Right? You could be a disciple, right, of a school. Right, there you go. So you got disciplines, different disciplines, as in discipline, disciples. Vinayas, different Vinayas, different schools, all these different disciplines. Each and every single one of these we'll do a whole study on. Okay. Very vast systems. This breaks down to, you know, probably hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of books worth of knowledge. You know, not lying. These are all key terms here. Break down to the whole, all those systems. Vihana, he said. Vinaya Pitaka, the basket of rules of conduct, the Buddhist scripture compiled by Pali, which gives the rules of conduct. It governed the life and behavior of the Sangha and its members. See Pitaka. Vipaka, a type of transformation, ripening, resultant fruition. Vipaksa, counter instance, that which is devoid of this probandham. As well as anything similar to it, the absence of the subject is known for certain in this type of reasoning. In a 10-member syllogism, it was the 5th member example given, the negative example. See Paksa. Viparita, contrary to what it is. Uncertainty as to the exact nature of truth, it is a type of delusion. Viparita bhavana, error, the opposite stream of thought. It is said to be removed by contemplation, according to Dvaita Vedanta. Viparita jnana, false knowledge. Viparita kyati, contrary apprehension. Theory of error propounded by Prabhakarta Mimamsa school. Error arises when an object appears otherwise than what it is. The object of error is held to be real, and it is the identity of its appearance with its basis, which is unreal. Sikati vada viparyasa, overturning, reverse, error, mistake. Viparyaya, erroneous, cognition, illusion, misapprehension. Viparyaya, erroneous, illusion, misapprehension. From the verb root I, to go, flow, get about, and plus V is underway. Party equals around. The Sankhya Karika lists its causes as ignorance, avidya, egoism, asmita, attachment, raga, antipathy, dvaita, and self-love, abhinivesa. These 5 are also called tamas, moha, moha, tamishra, and andata mishra. Viparyaya grahana, misapprehension, knowing the truth, otherwise it is an aspect of ignorance. To understand ignorance positively as misapprehension or to understand it negatively as non-apprehension. Grahana is a question asked of the Advaita Vedantins concept of ignorance. Avidya, see avidya. Vipra, Brahmin, priest, Vipralamba, separation from the beloved one. Vipula mati, a type of telepathy. According to Jainism, it has a spatial range between 4 yojanas and 2.5 dvipas. Its temporal range is between 8 and infinite number of incarnations. It lasts until the dawn of omniscience. See mati, vipula mati, a type of telepathy. Vipula mati, vira, heroic, strength from the root vir, to be powerful. According to Jainism, it is a stage wherein one becomes master of oneself. According to tantric practices, it refers to a spiritual practitioner. One adopts a heroic disposition or the left-hand discipline. Viraga, viraga, non-attachment. Viraga ends in viraj ends in viraj because it has that line there. Viraga, non-attachment. Viraj, the macrocosm, the manifested universe. Viraj, the world, man. According to Advaita Vedanta, Visvas or Stula and Vaisvanara are equated with Viraj, the macrocosm, the manifested universe. And I'm the microcosm, right? So Viraj is the macrocosm, I'm the microcosm. Virakti, self-renouncement. That's every man, right? Except for the collectivized human beings, right? Every man is the microcosm, and then there's the whole macrocosm out there, okay? Verdakti, self-renouncement. The first prerequisite for those who seek the absolute Brahman, Verdat, the cosmic form of the self as the cause of the gross world, see Verdaj. Okay, so now Verdakti, self-renouncement. The first prerequisite for those who seek the absolute Brahman, Verdakti, Verdat, the cosmic form of the self, as the cause of the gross world. See Verdaj, Verdoda, opposition, conflict. Verdoda, opposition, conflict. Verdudi, contradictory type of fallacious reasoning, which the reason hetu is contradictory. Here the reason proves the contradictory of what is intended to be provided. Example given, sound is eternal because it is produced, only proves the non-eternality of sound because whatever is produced is necessarily non-eternal. See Hetvabasa, Verdya, strength, heroism, energy, Verdya, it's virility from the verb root, to be powerful. One of the 6 virtues, paramita of Buddhism, one of the 6 attributes of God is vara. Visada, depression, dullness, despair. Visada, the verb root sad, to sit. Visada, depression, dullness, despair. Visamvadi, vyavahara. Visamvadi, vyavahara, unsuccessful volition. Visarga, emanation. Visaya, doubt. Visaya, object, subject matter, content. Visayavakya, a Vedic statement which is taken up as the subject for investigation. Visayi bhava, the relation between revealed and the revealer, or the relation between the object and its knowledge. Visayi, the subject who knows. Vishesa, in qualified particularity, propriety, a category in vaisesika metaphysics. It is the future which distinguishes one individual from another. Vishesas are innumerable, eternal, and partless. The vaisesika system depends upon this category for its pluralism. It is the differentia of ultimate things which are otherwise alike. It is the basic concept of Dvaita Vedanta. It justifies their concept of pluralism. They hold that every substance has an infinite number of particulars with one of each quality. It is the power by which a quality of distinguished from a substance. They distinguish the different aspects of the aspects they qualify, and as they are self-distinguishing, they do not need another quality to distinguish themselves. Vishesa guna, specific quality. Vishesana, qualification, attribute of element, distinguishing attribute. Vishesanata, the mode of contact which leads to the perception of non-existence. It is also called Vishesana, Vishesya Bhava. Vishesya Bhava, see Sanikarsa, Vishesana, Vishesya Bhava, Vishesanya, Vishesya Bhava, the relation to the qualification and the qualified mode of contact is also called Vishesanata, according to Nyaya. This is the contact for the perception of non-existence Bhava, see Sanikarsa and Vishesanata, Vishesana, Vishesyata Jnana. Vishesana, Vishesyata Jnana, knowledge which has a subject predicate relation, see Vakyarta, Vishesapti, Vishesapti, the emergence of new futures, the dvaita Vedanta theory of causation. The world originates from matter with newer and newer forms. At every stage, its emergence is dependent upon God's will. Visesya, the substantive element, the qualified. Visesya tavachedaka. Visesya vachedaka. Determinant of substantiveness. So how do we read these terms, right? These are good examples. All these long terms, right? Visesana, visesyatajnana. Right? So vi, sh connect to e. Vishe, that's another S noise. Vishe, that's san, that's the N, san. V, connect to I, V. Sh connected to E, she, so it's pronounced as she, and that's a S connected to a Y, xia, right, xia, ta, that's a J and an N combined, that letter is a J and an N combined, jnana, also known as knowledge, jnana, she sana, she siata jnana, she sa, T, P and a T connect to an I. Vishesati. Vishesya. V connect to I. SH connect to an E. Vishe. And then that's a S and a Y combined. Vishesya. Vishesya. So now this one. Vishesya. Well, let me see. Vishesya va. Alright. Vishesya va. That's a ch noise. That right there is the ch. I don't know what this really is, to be honest. Just more ch's, I guess. Big ch. Che. Because the whole idea with the two, with the C and then the CH, is it's vi, she, sia, va, che, daka. Vi, she, sia, va, che, vi, Shesya vache daka. Vishesya vache daka. Vishesya vache daka. Visista, that which is qualified, determinate, according to Dvaita Vedanta, is the form a thing acquires when it gets related to its attributes. It is a substance and quality taken together. It is one of the 10 categories of Dvaita. According to Visistadvaita Vedanta, the qualified is one, but the factors qualifying it are quite distinct, though inseparable from it. Visistha Buddhi, qualified cognition. Visistadvaita, qualified non-dualism, pan-synthetic monism, a theistic school of Vedanta, whose great consolidator and exponent is Ramanuja. It posits 3 ultimate realities: God, individuals, and matter. It's Varda Chit Nachit, which exists in an inseparable relationship through Chit and Achit are dependent upon the independent goddess Varda. The complex whole forms an organic unity, and thus its name, Visistadvaita. Visistadvaita vakovakya, unity. Unity in the form of an organic whole involving several attributes. Visistadvaita, qualified knowledge. Visistapratiti, determinate cognition. Visistadvaita, qualified object. Vislesha, separation. Vishnu, the supreme lord, the all-pervading. Oh, this one. A name for the all-pervasive supreme reality, one of the Hindu trinity of gods, representing God as the sustainer, the personal God of the Vaisnavas. In his personal form, the Vaisnavas. Vaisnavas, in his personal form, he is portrayed as four-armed holding a conch, a discus, and a lotus, and a mace. He is dark blue in color. During times of great wickedness and trouble, Vishnu incarnates on the earth in order to protect men and gods and reestablish righteousness. There are 10 such incarnations in our present world cycle, with Brahma, Rama, and Krishna being the most popular and important. According to Visistadvaita Vedanta, he is the sole reality, one without a second, having a sentient cheat and insentient achit for his qualifications. He is a means to liberation and the goal to be attained. He abides in the fivefold form as para, vyuha, vibhava, antaryamin, and archa. He has 6 divine qualities: knowledge, nana, strength, bala, lordship, aisvarya, power, sakti, virility, virdya, and splendor, tejas. Among his manifestations are Sankarsana, Pradyumna, Anuruddha, and Vasudeva. His weapons include the Khan, Sankha, discus, chakra, club, gada, sword, khadga, and bow, sanga. One of the names of the law books and the name of a Purana, see Smarti, Visfulinga Nyaya. Let's read this term right here. I like the big ones, the long ones. V connect to I, this, that letter right there is a PH combined. That's an F noise. This fool, that's U. This fool, that's connected to that L, connected to I. That's the unga. That letter is an N and a G and a unga. This fool, nyaya. Analogy of fire and its sparks. That's an N connected to Y, A, Y, A. This fool, nyaya. Visuddhi, purity, chakra, one of the 7 wheels, chakra, it is located in the throat center. Visva, the individual form of the self, having egoism in a gross body while awake universe. It is a form of the self in its waking state, according to Dvaita Vedanta. It is pervasive of the entire body, but for purpose of meditation, it has its seat in the right eye. Its limiting adjunct is the gross body, stula sharira, visvadika. Visvadika, more than in the universe, transcendent. Visvamaya, universal nations. Visvarupa, one of the form of the universe. Visvatiga, transcendent. Visvotarna, transcendent. That's interesting. So let's read these. V connected to I, S, V, DH, D connect to I, ends in ka. Visvadika, Visvamaya, Visva, R connected to that little thing is a Rudu. Visvarupa, Visvatiga, ends in A. Visvatiga, Visvo, this line going up, and then it goes up to the left, that's an O noise. So if there's a letter and then that line with that going to the left, it's an O. Visvo Tirthankaras. Okay, so the letter and the line's on the right side this time. If that line was on the left side, it'd be I. So if that line's on the right side, it's E. Visvo I, right? Tirthankaras. Visvotarna, that's an R connected to ends and Visvotarna, transcendent. Visvatiga also means transcendent. You got Vita, type of inference. Inference is classified into two types according to Sankhya. The Vita type is where there is a positive concomitance between the reason hetu and the major term sadhya. It is divided into two varieties. Pardvavat, which is based on observed concomitance of the specified reason and the major term, i.e. smoke and fire, in which it is known through prior perception and as observed in a hearth, and samanyato drasta, the concomitance, which is known through similarity, see anumana. Vitala, hell, the nether pole of tapaloka, it is a state changing toward materiality, siloka and tala. Vitala, hell. Vitanda, destructive criticism, destructive argument, one of the 16 categories of the Nyaya school. See Pardartha, chart number 6. This is destructive criticism, which seeks to refute an opponent's. Refute means to maybe debunk or prove wrong, right? Or even lambast, kind of. This is destructive criticism or critique, a critique of refutation, a critique. Okay. An opponent's doctrine. Okay, without seeking to establish or formulate any new doctrine of its own. So they're trying to prove people wrong, but then what's the right way, right? Vitanda, destructive criticism. Vitarka, a state of samadhi, debate, logical argument. It is of two kinds, savitarka and nirvitarka. See samadhi, a state of samadhi. Vitarka, debate, logical argument, a state of samadhi. Vita sandeha, free from doubt. Vitala. This Vitala, and a name for Lord Krishna. From vid equals brick plus tala equals standing. The one standing on a brick. Vita is said to be a corrupted form of Vishnu. Vivada, dispute. Vivarana, explanation. Vivaranakara, a name of Prakasatman, the author of the Panchapadika Vivarana, a commentary on Padma Padas, Panchapadika. Vivarana Prasthana. The Vivarana school of Advaita Vedanta is one of the two schools of Advaita Vedanta. See Bhamati. His most important works are the Panchapadika of Pramapada, the Panchapadika Vivarana Prakasatman, and the Vivarana Pramaya Sangraha Vidyaranya Surdesvara. Surdesvara's work are reputed to have been the inspiration of the school. Vivarta, transfiguration, apparent change, illusory appearance, vivartavada, the theory of apparent change, a theory of phenomenal appearance. The Advaita Vedanta theory of causation, which posits that the world is an illusory appearance superimposed by ignorance, avidya, on the absolute Brahman. See Parinamavada and Abhasavada. Viveka, discrimination. Viveka is defined as an awareness by means of which one can tell the true from the false, the eternal from the impermanent. It is an understanding that the world is impermanent and perishable, and that the self is permanent. See Sadhana Katustaya Vividisa Sannyasa. Vividisa Sannyasa. Renunciation for the purpose of desire to know, according to visistadvaita Vedanta, is renunciation for seekers and spiritual aspirants, sadhaka. It is preliminary renunciation, renunciation with a desire to know. See Vidvat Sannyasa. Vivikta Sayasana, Vivikta Sayasana, an external penance in Jainism to keep thoroughly aloof with regard to abode and seat, vrata, vow, rule of conduct, raksa. Raksa Trivarti, mental mode modification of the mind whose function is to manifest objects being conditioned, fluctuation, activity from the verb root, verb to turn off, roll, move is what makes knowledge possible according to Dvaita Vedanta. It serves as the connecting link between a knowing subject and a known object. The transformation of either the internal organ of nescience, avidya, it goes out through the senses and pervades the object. Vertijnana and powerful knowledge, according to Dvaita Vedanta, is a blend of a modification of the mind of the reflection of consciousness therein. It is of two kinds, immediate paradoxa. Immediate paradoxa is opposed to vidya, see svarupa sambandha, verti nayamaka, see svarupa sambandha, verti vyapyadva, pervasion of a mental modification. According to Advaita Vedanta, it is one of the two conditions necessary for an entity to be an object of knowledge. See Phala Vyapyadva Vertyani Yamaka. Vertyani Yamaka. See Svarita Sambandha Vyabhicharda. Vyabhicharda, the deviation. Vyagata, given up, dispenses with. Vyaja, occasion and direct cause. Vyakarana, grammar, one of the limbs of the Vedas. See Vedanga. Vyakta, manifest, revealed. Vyana, vital air. Diffuse breath from the root on to breathe. V, apart, toward the life breath which governs the circulation of blood in the body. Vyana, vital air, diffuse breath. Vyana. Vyangyarta, suggested meaning according to Indian aesthetics. Besides the primary meaning, mokyarta, and the secondary meaning, laksyarta, words may also have suggested meaning. In this type of meaning, the primary meaning stands as a stepping stone to it. The primary meaning suggests or hints or indicates to the mind of the listener that the meaning is, but this meaning is not necessarily related to or connected to the primary meaning. For example, by saying that the village is on the Ganges, the idea may be to convey that it is cool and holy. In poetry, this type of meaning is indispensable where the connection is emotion. Vyapaka, pervader, probandam, sadhya, vyapakva is omnipresent, as omnipresence. Vyaparta, activity. Intermediate cause, vyapti, invariable concomitance, universal pervasion between the middle term and the major term. This relation must be unconditional for necessary, or necessary is the central essence of an inferential cognition is correlation between two terms, of which one is pervaded and the other is a pervader. The hetu is pervaded and a sadhya is pervader in a vyapti. It is the relation of coexistence of the hetu and asadya. This relation must also be free from any adventitious circumstance. See Anumana. Vyapya, pervade, Brabant, Sadaka, Sadhana, Vyapya Dvasida. Vyapya Dvasida, unestablished in respect to its concomitants, one type of unestablished reason. Here the reason, I think hetu, Sanskrit for reason, hetu. Hetu and sankhya, this relation, and again, it's just Vyapya. Vyapya Dvasida, unestablished in respect to its concomitants, one type of unestablished reason. Here the reason associated with an adventitious condition. See Asida and Hate Vabasa. Vyapya Varti, pervasive. Vyasa, arranger, compiler, Vedic sage, credited with the compilation of the Vedas and the author of the Mahabharata and the Puranas. Vyasajya Varti, partially contained. Vyatareka Drastanta, Vyatareka Drastanta, negative example. Vyatareka Sahachara, concomitants of negation. Vyatareka Vyapti, negative pervasion, a type of inference for which only agreement in absence of the middle and major terms has been observed. Where there is no fire, there is no smoke. See Kevala, Vyatareka, and Anumana. Vyavahara, empirical, worldly life, practice from V, apart, ava, down, her, to take, that on which is based all of one's practical movements, empirical discourse. Vyavahara nyaya. Vyavahara nyaya, a type of viewpoint in Jainism, see nyaya. Vyavaharika, the relative viewpoint, empirical from V, apart, ava, down, her, to take. The standpoint of ignorance, according to Dvaita Vedanta, at this level the absolute is with attributes saguna. One individual differs from another and the entire pluralistic universe exists. Siprati, Basika, and Parda, Martika, Vyavaharika, Satya. Vyavaharika Satya, phenomenal or relative, reality, the empirical world. Vyavahita, mediate. Vyavartaka, differentiating future. Vyavasaya, determinate cognition. Determinate cognition gives only the cognition of the object. See Anu, Vyavasaya Jnana. Vyavasaya is not original cognition. According to Nyaya, determinate cognition, which gives only the cognition of the object and not the awareness that one is aware of such as a cognition, is called Vyavasaya Jnana. See Anu Vyavasta. Order, restriction. Vyavarta, discontinuity. Vyavarta, discontinuity. Vyavarti, differentiation. Vyaya, disappearance, loss, expenditure. Vyoman, moving through the air, a divine being that moves through the air, the magic art of flying, a bird. Vyoman, Vyuha, manifestation, emanation, part, manifestation of Vishnu forms, according to Visistadvaita Vedanta, is one of the fivefold forms of God that Samana takes. 4 manifestations for the purposes of meditation by the devotees and for the creation, etc., of the universe. Vasudeva, Sankarsana, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. Vasudeva, each emanates from the former with Vasudeva as the high self. They are all manifestations of Vasudeva. The one divine person from knowledge Nana and the capacity for unceasing work or never-ending creation Bala evolves Sankarsana from Istvardya, and Verdya evolves Pradyumna from Sakti, and Tejas evolves Aniruddha. See Isvarda, Sankarsana fulfills the function of creation, maintenance, and dissolution of the world, and exists as the deity superintending all the individual souls. Pradyumna protects the individual souls and superintends their birth and gives an instruction regarding spiritual matters. Aniruddha helps individuals toward liberation and protects the world. Vyutsarga, indifference to objects. Vyutana, rising up, awakening, a stage in yoga. That's V. We're going to do all these individually, probably next summer. And during the year, we're going to do a lot of other work. That's V, we got Y left, that's it.